any of them. So we're so excited to be bringing the 6 keys to growing your business on LinkedIn. And I'm a little sad that we're ending the series. I really have enjoyed it, but we can always catch the replays. And so today we want to talk about ending this series on one of my favorite platforms for business owners, and that is LinkedIn. Another one of my favorites for now that's really growing is Instagram. So if you missed that, be sure and catch that on Instagram because there's so many things that we could do to grow our business. So be sure and turn off your distractions. I know we love our phones. You don't want to miss anything on this training on Instagram, on LinkedIn. And I always say, what if you walk away with one new idea? And you have a new understanding of LinkedIn because I was talking to the director here at Paris US BC, the Small Business Development Center, and she and I were talking about how LinkedIn used to be about resumes and getting jobs and things like that. And I remember that just a few years ago, and we would think of LinkedIn like that. Well, that is still an aspect, but there's so many other things now to LinkedIn for business owners to grow their business, connect with connections and things like that. Show themselves as credible, so because people do buy from people who are credible. So what if you got one idea today on how to use it to grow your business past just resumes, or what to post and when to post and how to connect with your potential client, how to actually increase your revenue? Because I, just as I love giving webinars, I love to watch them and learn. And I always tell myself, try to walk away with one idea to add to my business. So this training is for you if you want to rethink LinkedIn and the new ways to use it, because we have to rethink it. It's a new LinkedIn. The training is for you if you want to be consistent and go all in. If you want to grow your audience of people who want and need your services, that's another good thing. It's a business site. You want to learn all of the new features for entrepreneurs, and the training is for you if you want to make connections that will build your business. So if so, stay to the end and we can have a Q&A time also. So I am Marsha Hudson, and I have given this series and that I've enjoyed giving on social media to help business owners, and that's what I do. I give strategies and plans to help busy business owners too. Those of us who wear many hats, or solopreneurs, or even side hustlers who are working for other people. I help you with these strategies to help you grow and build and brand your business online, but without being overwhelmed and confused. So today's agenda, we're going to look at your profile or homepage. And many people tell me, I have a LinkedIn page, I set it up, maybe I hadn't been working it. Well, if you do, you have to, it's time to maybe revamp or give your profile or your homepage a facelift if you haven't done anything to it in a while. We're also going to talk about the about section, the feature section. Now, the feature section is only in the LinkedIn profile page. If you have a business page that you set up, the feature section is not there yet. Maybe they may add it or not. We will talk about what to post, your content, if you're interested in joining groups or creating your own groups, because there are LinkedIn groups and they are great, and how to make connections and build your relationships on a LinkedIn. So, like I say, what if you got an idea to pivot your business? And it really is about believing in ourselves, sometimes pushing the limits to do whatever it takes to conquer our goals. And so I hope that today's training will help you with that. So, a little bit of statistics on LinkedIn. It tells me why I should be on it, and I hope it tells you why you should be on it. There are millions of members on LinkedIn and 303 active members. And the members on there have an average income of 70K. So your clients on here can actually afford your services, because sometimes we may think, well, why aren't people purchasing from me? Well, you may have people going to your website but they can't purchase you can't afford your services, which is okay. So you have to get the people who can, if you have services that are a little bit more. So these people have disposable income. It's the world's largest networking site for professionals, and it's responsible for 80% of business to business leads on social media. So why should your company be here? So as a company or a business owner, you can showcase your business. It helps with your SEO. If you post consistently to LinkedIn, it helps you to rank higher on Google. That may be something new that you may not have known. Your company can network and get connected, because social media now is more about connecting and networking more so than sales. And of course, you can position yourself as the industry leader that you are. So here's an activity. If you're listening in or you watching a replay or whatever, I always say list 3 things that you want social media to do for your business. Because when we start, we had this blank canvas, right? And we're like, I want to get on social media. I need to get on social media. I need to be consistent. And so when we actually decide to do it for sure, we actually start with a blank canvas. And so I say, what are 3 things you want social media to do for you? And sometimes the first thing I have people say, well, I want to build my business and make money. Well, that's at the end of the funnel. That's not the beginning of social media anymore. One thing that social media has done for me is it creates awareness. It lets people know about me and my business. It can do that for you. Another thing is it creates visibility. So once people become aware of you, now once you're being consistent, you are visible to people, whether it's 10 people or 15 or 30 or 50 likes. Now you become visible. And this is great because now you're in front of people versus not being there at all. And so creating awareness and creating visibility are 2 main things that this powerful tool, because social media is a powerful tool, will do for you. And then thirdly, it can drive traffic to your website. That's where you get the customers and the money. So hopefully these are some things you want, especially you want to drive traffic to your website. Social media will do that. So now visualize that happening. Okay. Once we start thinking, okay, I'm going to get serious. I want people to find me. I want to be visible. I want people to go to my website. It actually will happen. And I'm speaking from experience. So visualize that happening for you. I study quite a bit on visualization, the power of the tongue, manifestation. And it's amazing how what we visualize, what we say, what we think can actually come to pass. So when you visualize, you actually materialize. So let's get into the first part, your profile page. So this is the first impression that people get. So when they land on your LinkedIn page and whatever your URL is, this is the first impression they get of your business. So on this page, you want to tell people what you can do for them. That is the first thing that they should see, whether it's on their phone or their computer. And for me, mine across the board on my Facebook, my Instagram, my LinkedIn, my website, the first thing that people see when they land there is something for them. It says, I help entrepreneurs do A, B, and C. People want to know right off the bat what it is that your business, your product will do for them. And every industry can have a statement like that. If you're a designer, you help people make their homes look beautiful. If you are a real estate professional, you help people find a dream home. If you're a health coach or a coach, you help people live their best life. If you are a coffee house and you have a coffee house, you help people feel relaxed and feel comfortable when they come to your coffee house. I know I do. I love coffee houses. I feel so relaxed. I feel comfortable. I love the atmosphere. It's not just about the coffee for me, it's about the feeling. And so, because the place has made me feel this way, I associate it with that. So this works for every business owner. It sets the tone for your business or brand. It should keep people scrolling. So your profile page should keep people scrolling, and you have a sentence that tells what you do for them. Then you may have some other features on your profile page, or you may have some of your accolades, things that you've accomplished. You want people to keep scrolling. And the reason why I say scrolling is because 85% of people are using their cell phones to check you out. And so they're scrolling, and you want them to keep doing that. And in other words, it's the face of your business. So I tell people, if you haven't gone there in a while, go there and do an assessment. Make a few changes. Maybe you need to change some of the words on the about. The about is not about me. The about is always about them. So I wouldn't start the about off by saying, how many degrees I have, how many schools I've gone to, how long I've been in business. That's on there, but that's not the first thing. In my about, I'm always talking about what I can do for you, how I can make your life better, happier, easier, whatever. So you may want to go there, make some changes if you haven't gone to that page, because that is the first thing people see, and that is the face of your business. And you definitely want to make sure you have updated the banner, because there's so many things that you can do with the banner. And so this is how people will see your LinkedIn page on their phone, as you can see on the screen to the left. And they will see your profile image, your banner, some things about you. And on the right, this is how they will see it on their computer. And so you want to make that banner look good also. You may put your company name on the banner, your slogan on the banner, your .com on the banner, because don't forget, this is the first thing that people see. So use the banner as real estate. Don't just put a picture on the banner and that's it. Use the banner as real estate. Put your the name of your company. Put your slogan. Put your .com. So you want to use that as real estate. So run. And so this is the second part. I do want to go a little bit more into the banner. So after you've updated your profile and things like that, your banner can be used as real estate. An image that represent your company can be on there. Like I say, your slogan. I have a slogan, say yes to success. I have a few others, but I always like to put a slogan that makes people feel like, yes, that's what I want. That's what I want. So think of a slogan. Your website address can go on the banner, and offering if you have one on my banner, it says get my free strategy workbook. That's on my banner. A line that tells how you help your clients. So if you haven't done a banner or you want to make one, you can easily make a banner in Canva for LinkedIn, Canva, for free. And you go to Canva and you go to the search and you type into the search LinkedIn banner, and you will get all of these templates. Just revise the template for you. Now, if you say, I don't want to go to Canva and I don't want to make a template, hire someone from Fiverr. I actually hired Fiverr to make my LinkedIn banner. And they made my LinkedIn banner and my Facebook and my Twitter banner. And it was the same banner, because you want to brand yourself, but they just sized it differently. So the same banner for Twitter, the same banner for LinkedIn, sized differently, the same banner for Facebook. So all three of my Marsha and Hudson, all three of my banners look the same. They just sized differently. And I just hired Fiverr to do my three banners. So you can use your banner as real estate. Put whatever you want people to see when they first get there. I like to say, pretend your banner is like a billboard on a major freeway. What would you want people to see? So here are some samples of banners. Now, you do not want to just have that blue LinkedIn default banner, okay? I go to people's pages, I'm like, why do you still have the blue LinkedIn default? That is a prime piece of real estate. And so here's one here where she put her profile, joined the movement, got a slogan, have a little trophy there. What does your LinkedIn banner say about you? Here at the bottom, here is Stephen Wright. He's a career coach. He has a saying there. So use that banner as real estate. So section 2, this is your about section. So this should be storytelling. I like to say storytelling sells brands, and they do. And Donald Miller, and he is the brand expert. And if you haven't checked him out, check him out. He has a book called Story Brand. It's great. And you can easily find it on Amazon. He doesn't pay me, but I think it's a great resource for us as we are trying to figure out what kind of wording to put on our website, what kind of wording to put on, our social sites. So Donald Miller, Miller, if you Google him, he's just gonna pop up right away, and he's the story brand guy. And he talks about how storytelling sells brands. In other words, let your words be everyday type words. Just act like you're talking to a friend. It doesn't have to be this jargon or these words that people don't understand. He said, just act like you're talking to a friend and write your about section. And I thought about that. And so it's not your resume or your credential section. They have a section on LinkedIn for that. But your about section is not your resume and credential section. It's the section that says, I help entrepreneurs do this. And you can let them know about your other services. We also do this for you. You can let people know how you make their lives better or stress free. At this company, we will make things for you less complicated. So just talk in terms that, everyday language, storytelling. And even in mine, I even have a little bit about how I started this business. It says, I have, as I was growing up, I always wanted to help other people. I wanted to be a teacher, and here I am, I'm a teacher. So I just have everyday language on the about section. But I will tell you this, I had to go and change mine too, because my about section was just my resume and a bunch of credentials. And so I had to learn, oh, this is not what should be on the about section. Give them a sentence about your why you love your business, why you're passionate about it, why you started it. Remember, it's not about you. It's never about you. It's always about what you can do for them. So if you haven't updated your about section, go assess it, check it out, and just make it where when people read it, they feel like, wow, yes, I want to follow this person. They have so many benefits for me, and they're just authentic. So section 3 is your feature section. And like I said, for now, because the social sites change so much, there is not a feature section on the business page for LinkedIn. But if you have a regular page for LinkedIn, there is a feature section. I have a regular page I use for Marsha and Hudson for my business. I just like the profile page. And I'm able to feature my podcast on that page. I'm able to feature my YouTube channel on that page. So I'm able to feature my Jumpstart Your Social Media bundle that I created on that page that I actually sell. So I can feature things on that page. So if you have a profile page or LinkedIn, these are some things you can feature. You can feature your website with an image on that page, your blog, if you have a blog, your podcast, a product, an article. So I do like that feature. I don't know why they haven't added it to the business page. I wish they would, because a lot of people want to have a business page for LinkedIn. And people say, well, what's the difference in having a profile page versus a business page on LinkedIn? So I looked that up because that was a great question. And a profile page is for maybe one person who is a business owner or an entrepreneur, but a business page is more for a team of 3 or 4 or a company. But of course, you can have a business page. That's just what I learned, the difference when people ask me. Some people have both. But I tell people, if you're going to have both, you got to do them both. Now, I do have a profile page on LinkedIn called Marsha Lynn Hudson, but I do post about social media stuff. But I also have a business page that I created called Marsha Lynn Hudson Photography, because I am a photographer. So it's up to you. you know. So you can use this feature section, and you can feature things that you want people to see. They can click and actually go to those other places. So you would list three important things that you want people to know about your brand. And you can put that on your feature section. You can put that in your about section. You can put that in other sections on LinkedIn, because don't forget, LinkedIn is business to business. Business professionals are coming there. And so you want them to know three things about your brand. And you might say, well, what's my brand? And a brand is more than a logo. It's more than the colors that you choose. It's what people say about you when you're not around. It's how people feel. And I use the one of the coffee houses that I like, which is Starbucks, and they have branded themselves to where they're just more than about a coffee house, and they've done a really good job at it. They branded themselves so well that you don't just feel like, okay, let me go here and pay $3 for a coffee, which is something I do all of the time when I actually have a Keurig at home, a wonderful one. But why do I go there and pay $3 for it when I can make an iced coffee at home? They branded themselves as a place to come and have coffee, but come and study. Come and have coffee, but come and sit a while. Come and have coffee, come with your business partners and have a business meeting. Come and have coffee, become and relax. You see what I mean? They branded themselves as more than just the logo and the color, as to a place to come and stay. And when we were going out and about before the pandemic, I would go, and I'm a professor, and I would see my students or other students at Starbucks studying. They branded themselves like that. They branded themselves as come and have a coffee, but bring your laptop and do your work. So you see people sitting in there with their laptops doing their work. You see people, two or three people in there having coffee and having a business meeting. So they branded themselves very well. Apple, it's another one. They branded themselves, well, it's more than just a phone, an iPhone. That's why they're so big. They branded themselves to say, this is what you need for your life. This is what you need for fun. This is what you need for your business. So Apple have branded themselves for more than just a phone with that expensive $1,200 phone that I buy all the time. And now they have these big Apple stores where they're saying, okay, come in and put headphones on and listen to music. Come in and sit down at the Apple store and play around with our new iPad. Come in at the Apple store and watch videos. So they branded themselves as not just a place for a phone, but much more. So what I'm getting at is, brand yourself for more than just this one thing you sell. It's like the SBDC. They don't have to just brand themselves as, we're a small business development center. They branded themselves as a place to grow your business. They branded themselves as a place to come when we can start back going back, come and sit with other business owners and learn some things. So they branded themselves as, we're just more than just the SBDC. We are a place for business owners to do so many other things. So that's how you want to brand yourself when you're thinking about, okay, I need to put myself out there, more so than just I sell this one thing. The best way to predict the future is to create it. I really like motivational sayings. I put them quite a bit on my Instagram page, and my followers love them. I put one today up there, and it talked about, if you're making mistakes, that means you're doing something. So I love sayings. People love them. And if you're thinking about what to post, people love these type of things, and they take no time to post. And I thought about that, the best way. And then when you put a motivational saying on a post, talk about the saying. And so I thought about, the best way to predict the future is to create it. We think about, this is where I want to be in a year. This is where I want to be 5 years from now. This is what I want to be doing in 10 years, whether it's your life, your business, your family, whatever. Well, the best way to know what you're going to be doing in a year, 5 or 10, is you have to create it. You have to start planning, whether it's for finances. You have to plan, this is what we're going to do in a year. Let's sit down and look at our finances. What can we do here? So you actually have to create it. If you want to be a certain place with social media in a year, You have to create a strategy. If you want to be a certain place in your business in a year or two, you have to create. This is what we need to do in this area. This is what we need to do in that area. So this is really a good saying. If not, then we can predict that the future is going to be the same way it is today. If we don't create it, plan, get consistent, we can pretty much predict in a year or two or five, it's just going to be the same way it is today. So, so section 4 is your content, and people say, okay, what do I post? People are going to LinkedIn on their computers, they're going to LinkedIn on their phone. It's really a really exciting time. I mean, I know you probably can tell I love social media, I just do. But um because it's done a lot for me, but I love connecting, and connecting will grow your business too, and not just sales. I can give a webinar, teach a training, be finished with my day at 6 o'clock, and just go make a post on my phone at 6:30 and send it out the next day or whatever. It just works. It's just easy. So, what kind of content should you post on LinkedIn? And people say, well, Marsha, what do I post? And I thought about that because I love questions, and the questions that my clients ask help me to come up with trainings and posts and blogs and everything else. And it's like, what do I say? I thought about that. I said, well, here's a good way to know what to post. Ask yourself this: if your post does this, it's a good post. Okay. So before you get ready to click the LinkedIn post or your Instagram post or your Facebook post, does this content give value? So if that content that you're getting ready to post give value, that's a good post. Ask yourself, does this content solve a problem? If what you're getting ready to put on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram solves a problem, that's a good post. It could be a Q&A, but it solves a problem. Does this content motivate? So if you are getting ready to put a motivational saying or a business quote or a success saying on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, that's a good post. Okay. And I came up with these questions. I was like, this is really good. This is easy for people to know if this is a good post. Does this content make people feel good or smile? Some people post real funny things, but they're light. That's a good post. It doesn't always have to be so serious. Does this content educate? So if you're posting 3 tips to do this, 3 ways to do this, 4 ways to do this, how to do this, yes, that's a good post. And does this content solve a pain point or end a struggle? That is a great post. So if you're getting ready to post something to LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, and you're getting ready to tell people how to do a video in a few minutes and upload it to your social site, you have probably ended a pain point where somebody thought, wow, I thought that was a lot of work. I thought that was going to be hard. You just ended a pain point, or you just ended someone's struggle. So the way to know if your post is good or it works on LinkedIn, ask yourself that question. So let's say you're doing Motivational Monday and you post to your LinkedIn, and you found a great motivational quote on Google or whatever, or motivational saying. I Googled motivational quote. I Googled motivational sayings. I Googled motivational sayings for business owners. And let's say you find a good one and you think, wow, I'm going to post this to LinkedIn for Monday. And it's a great motivational saying for business owners. That was a good post. And then in the content, you just write about what that post, what that saying says, why you think it's a good, saying, what it means to you. Put your hashtags, and you're done. So let's say, so that's Motivational Monday. So I'm giving you some good themes right here. Motivational Monday. Okay, you can do a motivational tip, motivational saying every Monday. They really work well. So let's say you had Tuesday tips, and you're like, okay, on Tuesday, let me give tips. Now you're educating. And so you may give 3 ways to do this or how to do this. So Tuesday tips. So yes, now your business owners on LinkedIn are like, wow, those are some really good tips. You see? So you have Motivational Monday, you have Tuesday tips. So what if you have Wednesday wisdom? where you gave something of value. You offer some value. Maybe you do a video on Wednesday, or maybe you put some sayings up there, or you talk about something that you've done as a business owner, maybe a struggle or a win that you've had as a business owner. Now you've given some value, so you can do Wednesday wisdom. Let's say you have Thursday thoughts, and maybe you actually do a Q&A. So people may have been thinking about that question, and now you have Thursday thought. You answered the question. And I call it Friday fun. Maybe you put a gift on a Friday, a gift, a little moving thing, or maybe you put Happy Friday, take a break. So in actuality, if you have something Monday through Friday, Monday motivation, Tuesday tip, Wednesday wisdom, Thursday thought, Friday fun day. That's how you know what to post on LinkedIn. In actuality, all of them really. And then now it doesn't become this thing what to post, because you have these themes. So here are my themes that I talked about. You can take a screenshot, of course. Monday motivation, Tuesday tips, Wednesday wisdom. I call it Thursday thoughts, where you could even do a video on a Thursday. Friday fun. You can highlight your company or something fun. But storytelling builds brands. And according to Donald Miller, and I bought his book, and I subscribe to his website too, because I get his emails. He sends a lot of value in his emails, and it's always talking about how we can build our brand, and how we can do things as marketing for business owners. It's story brand by Donald Miller. You can get it at Amazon for sure. So he sends a lot of value, and he talks about, and of course he knows this because he's built his brand with just being a down to earth business person and talking to people online in a regular manner. We think social media is supposed to be business jargon because we want to promote our businesses, but it's not that. It's about connecting, storytelling, and that's what leads to people buying. So I say be human, be likable, be social. Don't take the social out of social media, and don't be overly promotional, and you will build your brand. So I talk about this quite a bit. A good post, the anatomy of a good post will have three things with it: an image or a video, good content, and hashtag. And that's across the board. LinkedIn, when you post, you want to put an image or a video, good content, and hashtags. About six or seven for LinkedIn. When you post to Instagram, you want to put an image or a video, good content, and about 30 hashtags if you can. So it's the same for Twitter, it's the same for Facebook. But this is an anatomy of a good post. The algorithms, which are the machines that run social media, the algorithms like these three. And when the algorithms like your post, they will show it to more people. You see? So video and LinkedIn. People are like, okay, Marsha, I do not want to be on video. I don't want to show my face. But it's a good idea if you can do a few videos sometimes, maybe. But if you don't, do a slideshow or make something in Canva. I made this right here, says stick to a schedule. And it's an example from Canva. And so if you go to Canva, which you can use Canva for free, you can actually make videos for your LinkedIn and upload them. And you don't even have to have your face in it. So, you can make that, but LinkedIn and the other sites, people who come there, they like videos, and they like slideshows, and they like different things like that. So it's something to consider if you want to really, kind of go all in a little bit more on LinkedIn. So groups. So now we have LinkedIn groups, okay? And just like we have Facebook groups, which I think Facebook groups are great, they're not for selling, they're for building community. LinkedIn groups are the same. They're for building community. You can join a group. There are thousands of LinkedIn groups. You can go to LinkedIn and just put in the search for any kind of group. I went in and put in social media groups. I went in and put photography groups. I went in and put women entrepreneur groups, and I found a lot of groups. I joined a few. I tell people don't join too many because you do need to be active in the group. But you can learn so much by being in a group. Some people even create their own group for free. And I had created a group for in LinkedIn, women writers, because I am a woman writer, and I had that group going for about 3 months. But I got so busy and I couldn't keep it up. Sometimes we have to make a decision to let something go. So at the beginning of 2021, when I was making decisions, I ended my group. I enjoyed it and I ended my group, but I said that to say I did create a group. It was very easy. We had a group of women in. I liked it. We had good community. They would post. It was called Women Writers Who Rock. And I enjoyed being in that group. So if you have that kind of time, you could actually create a group. But if you don't, just join a group. And so you become a part of community. People get to see you, people get to meet you, you become an industry name in the group. You can meet potential customers. You don't really sell in groups. You just do, like I said in the post. Sometimes in my groups, because I am in groups and Facebook groups, I think I pay more attention to my Facebook groups than LinkedIn group. And I post quite a bit in my Facebook group. So let's say I pulled up one of my Facebook groups that I'm in and I posted a motivational saying. And some of the other women in the group were like, wow, I really like that saying you posted. So sometimes I'll pull up one of my Facebook groups and I'll post some things about me as a business owner. And I just tell the truth. And I talk about how sometimes I get burned out and sometimes I lose my creativity and how I have to get to the coffee house to get to read something and get some more creativity. And some people are like, I feel that same way. So you just connect in these groups. But people get to know you, get to meet you, and then they may say, wow, who is this person that's sharing such valuable information? Let me go check out her page. So people get to come to know, like, and trust you. Sometimes I'll go in a group and I'll read what other people have written. And I went into the Facebook group the other day, and one lady was like, do any of you guys ever feel like you are just rushing 24/7 every day as a business owner? And I responded to that. I was like, yes, I do. So it's a place for community where you can post, you can share, but you can also see what people are saying, respond to them. They're asking questions, things like that. So Facebook, I always say if you're going to join a group, maybe two or three, make sure it's an active group because you want to participate maybe once a week, or you want to participate maybe twice a month. You don't want to just never participate. And it's the same for another group. So here's an example of groups. When you go to LinkedIn and you go to the search bar, LinkedIn will actually suggest groups because the algorithms know your behaviors. So LinkedIn knows my behaviors. So they would actually suggest groups. So, and here is what, would come up, and it tells you how many members in the group. And there's my group right there. It was called Female Entrepreneur. Well, I was in the one group, Female Entrepreneurs Who Rock, and I made one, Female Women Writers Who Rock. But that just shows you how you can go and search for groups on anything, really, any industry. And you can join groups of like minded people, or you can join groups where you think your potential client may be. You see? So that's a screenshot. You can take a screenshot there of how you can go and find groups. And so, as I was saying, what to do in a group is connect and build relationships. You don't really sell in groups. And when you show up, you put your company on the mind of others. You participate in the group. Your brand becomes human. People like to do business with people. And you can contribute value to the groups and grow your brand. So you can comment on posts in the group. You can encourage and motivate people through your own posts. You can communicate, be a contributor in the group. Not just a reader, but be a contributor in the group also. So number six, making connections. And so social media is about making connections. The new social media, because it wasn't always like that. It used to be we were promoting our businesses a few years ago. Now it's the new social media. It's about connections, 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 and they do lead to sales. So how do we make connections? We communicate. We establish that know, like, and trust factor, and people will buy from you. So you read the connections that LinkedIn suggests. LinkedIn will suggest for you to connect. And so I say connect with 5 to 10 new people every week. So you go check out their page. Don't just connect right away. Go check out their page, look at their posts, and decide if you want to connect. And they can be from all walks of life. Now, sometimes when we connect with people, the first thing they'll do is message us and want us to buy something. They just hadn't learned that that's not what to do. So you don't do that. Message some of your present connections. Let's say you have 85 connections, 100, 300. Go message them. We call it DM, where you direct message them. How's it going? You just regular conversation. How's the heat over there? And then another time you may invite them to something you're having, but you don't just connect with somebody and then all of a sudden send them a link so they can buy something. Don't say it. But you engage on your connections, post, like, and comment. So that's how you build connections on LinkedIn. LinkedIn will suggest connections, and it might say, here's somebody you may know. And you may want to go connect with them and send them a message, but don't send them a message about buying something right off. So here's a screenshot here of DM, and I make sure I message and do messages with my people. And when I created this, I started working on LinkedIn close to the end of 2020, when I realized, okay, LinkedIn is really a place we want to reach. So I started developing some things around August. And he just shows I would post and connect with my people, and they would be like, oh, I would say, thanks for showing my post of love. And then they may say, oh, have a good day. And then I would check in on people, or I would ask them questions. So it's just regular communication in the messaging box. So you might say, okay, I need to get busy with my LinkedIn page. I have one. I created one. I'm not that active in one. If you decide you want LinkedIn to be a part of your plan, here's an action plan for LinkedIn. Okay. I mean, we don't have to be everywhere online. I say it all of the time. You don't have to be on everything, everywhere, every day. But I always say pick two major platforms and, build your brand. So you may say, okay, well, I think I might want to add LinkedIn. Maybe I want to do LinkedIn and Instagram, or maybe I want to do Instagram and Facebook, or maybe I could do three. Maybe I could do LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't go more than that if you're one person. So here's a plan. If you decide I want to do LinkedIn, I am a huge advocate for pre-planning. I just can't stress it enough. I'm too busy. I wear too many hats. I mean, I just can't do it during the week. So I plan. I pick a day on the weekend and I plan. This is what I'm going to do for my blog. This is what I'm going to do for social media this week. This is what it's huge. And during the week, I may do a few new things, but the bulk, I've done it on the weekend. Other than that, I can't get it done. It just won't get done. My stuff won't get done. So the action plan should be about 20 to 30 minutes a day, your 3 days a week if you're active, especially if you plan. If you plan ahead of time, I will tell you this. You could work Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn 3 days a week, and it shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes. Everybody has 20 minutes, 3 days a week. But the planning was the big part. So you actually could do all three in 20 minutes. So you can post to LinkedIn 2 to 3 times a week. The best times are before 9. You can schedule it with later. With now later has you can schedule LinkedIn posts for free. You can make new connections at least one day of your 3 days, engage with your connection. And you can actually plan this on the weekend. You can say, okay, this is what I'm going to do on LinkedIn Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And this is what I'm going to post on LinkedIn. This is what I'm going to talk about. Wednesday, I'm going to try to connect with 5 new people, but this is your planning day. On the weekend, you have a little time, maybe a Saturday evening or a Sunday evening, where you have about an hour or so. And then when it's time to actually post to LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, you could actually do all three of those in 20 minutes because you made the planning on the weekend. Some people plan late at night because they're free. I'm usually up working sometimes to 10 and 11 and 12 at night. So my planning is usually on a Sunday evening. Bonus, your content is king and queen. Okay, people used to say content is king. Well, it's king and queen, but you have to be relatable with your content. Even though they're business people, we have many other avenues to us than just business owners. We do lots of other things. So you want to appeal to the whole business owner. So I like to say as we end, and I really like this saying. All you have to do is decide. I saw a saying that said, "It's not about our conditions, it's about our decisions." I need to put that one up next. And I thought about that, and the saying said, "It's not about our conditions, it's about our decisions." And in other words, what that person who created that saying was, it's not about, oh, I don't have enough money, or oh, I don't have enough time, or oh, I went on a trip, or oh, I'm on vacation, or oh, I have to go here. It's not about the conditions of our lives because we're always going to have the condition. It's about the decisions we make. So even though we are going on vacation, or we are very busy, or it is our anniversary, or we don't have a lot of time, if we make the decision to pick a little time on the weekend to plan, so it really isn't about the conditions of our lives and what's happening. It boils down to the decisions. So the question is, will you decide to actually be active on social media, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram? And will you decide to do it consistently, even though you're wearing lots of hats, maybe like me? Or will you decide? And sometimes I tell people, if it's 3 days is too much, commit to two. 2 days, really? Out of seven? And as a business owner, you can't spend 20 minutes? Commit to two to start. So all we have to do most of the time, well, all of the time, is decide. So I am so glad that you guys joined me for these 8 tips. And the bonus tip, I hope that these tips have helped you to think about if you want to get active on LinkedIn, or think about reassessing your LinkedIn, because most people have a page. They just hadn't done anything to it or been there in a while, and that's okay. It's always a time to get started. Reassess your profile, reassess your wording, reassess your banner, know what you're going to post and things like that. And decide if you want